Welcome to the College Admissions Collaborative highlighting Engineering and Technology College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event today. We have some fantastic schools here today. My name is Jessica and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping notes for you. Number one, your camera and microphones are turned off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to ask any questions at any time to the presenters. This is just one of the many different sessions happening today, so make sure you go back and check out what's happening on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/CACHET. I'd like to now turn it over to Erin.
Thank you so much. I am going to go ahead and share my screen here. All right, so hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. We are going to go ahead and just hop right into tonight's panel. Just to give you kind of a lowdown of how the panel will go, we're going to get started with some university rep introductions and do some quick university overviews. And then we will call our current university students up for some intros, and they will be ready to field all of your questions regarding the student life experience that they are having at their universities. So make sure that you have those questions ready to go in the Q&A, and we will go ahead and start in presenter order. So we'll go ahead with our university rep from Illinois Tech, if you want to come on up.
Awesome, thank you so much. And I apologize in advance for any background noises, but just a quick introduction about Illinois Tech. We are located in Chicago. We are a small private university located in Chicago. We are the only STEM-focused university as well. We have around 3,100 graduate students and around 3,200 graduate students, so we're relatively smaller, like I said. We have over 40 undergraduate majors in 5 colleges, most of them revolving around engineering, computer-related sciences, hard sciences, but we also have some non-STEM majors such as architecture, business, as well as like soft sciences. We have over 60 minors for you to really focus your undergraduate career in, such as artificial intelligence, all the way up to entrepreneurship, to game design, a lot of different options for you. We do have early admission pre-health programs, so that definitely is helpful if you are going to go get your MD or DO, JD, any of those programs, then you could definitely opt for that. In terms of experiential learning, we definitely focus on that. We have our iPro program, what that stands for is Interprofessional Projects Program. That's a year-long problem-solving course. It really focuses on real-life problems and creating solutions to tackle these real-life problems. In terms of Elevate, Elevate is an umbrella organization that helps connect our students to different out-of-classroom experiences. For example, studying abroad, internships, short courses, and more. It really depends on what you want to do out of the classroom and if you want that experience. In terms of campus life, just a quick overview, we have over 150 student organizations. We are an NCAA Division III school, so a lot of athletic teams for you to choose from, and 70% of our students live on campus. So we do have a lot of residential options for our students being in a city. Our application for fall 2022 is currently live and it is completely free. We are going test optional, so if you have those scores, if you don't have those scores, it's completely up to you if you want to send those in or not. It will not affect your admission or your scholarships. And I remember that I didn't really introduce myself, but my name is Diana and I'm an admission counselor from Illinois Tech. Definitely feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions.
Thanks so much, Diana. I will go ahead next as I'm representing Lawrence Technological University. As mentioned before briefly, my name is Erin Burklow. I'm a senior admissions counselor from Lawrence Tech. So a little bit about LTU. We are a small private university located in Southfield, Michigan, right in the Metro Detroit area. And when I say we are small, we are small. We have about 3,000 total students at Lawrence Tech. Just about 2,000 of those are undergraduate students. So generally, our average class size is just about 15 to 20. With that, we also have an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So all of our courses are only taught by faculty, no teaching assistants or graduate students teaching our courses. And our faculty are wonderful across the board in all of our programs. A little bit about campus life at LTU. We have over 30 men and women's varsity athletic teams. We are housed in the NA AIA. So we are able to offer athletic scholarships for those varsity athletes. Additionally, other ways to get involved on campus, we have over 100 student clubs and organizations, everything from Greek life, our fraternities and sororities, to special interest groups, cultural organizations, professional organizations, honor societies, honors programs, things like that. So plenty for our students to get involved with and meet new people on campus. And then just about 1,000 of our students do live on campus in one of our 4 housing units, one of which is brand new freshman only housing. At Lawrence Tech, we do offer 4 different colleges that house all of our nearly 100 academic majors. So we have our College of Architecture and Design, the College of Arts and Sciences, the College of Business and Information Technology, and last but not least, the College of Engineering, which was how we were founded back in our start in 1932. When we were founded on a campus motto of theory and practice, which we still very much hold true to today. So we, of course, have a very strong focus on the theoretical knowledge that comes along with each of our programs, but additionally, we are extremely focused on hands-on education, getting students into our state-of-the-art labs and studios that cover our campus, doing undergraduate research starting at the freshman level. Application is also live for us, so any seniors out there, feel free to apply. We have done test optional, and we are excited to continue working with you. And that is it from me. So I will go ahead and advance next to Rose Holman.
All right, thanks, Erin. My name is Matt Lance. I'm an assistant director in the Office of Admissions at Rose Holman. So I'm going to keep it pretty brief as well. We are located in Terre Haute, Indiana, which is about an hour southwest of Indianapolis. We have about 2,100 total students on campus, and basically 2,000 of which are undergrads. We have less than 100 grad students and no doctoral students, so very, very focused on the undergrad experience. You see the faculty to student ratio on the screen there. Our average class size is 20. So typically all of our classes are between 10 and 30. So always gonna have small classes, always gonna be faculty taught. Probably the biggest thing for our students that I always want prospective students to know about Rose Holman is that our faculty's main priority on campus is teaching. So we have a lot of research going on, but that is not our priority as a campus. Our main priority from the faculty perspective and from the academic perspective is to be in the classroom, in the lab with the students at the undergrad level, giving them a completely different experience than a lot of other places. Our faculty, usually seek out us for the opportunity to be engaged with the undergrad students. So that ends up leading to some of the placement information you can see on the screen as well. So really good internship co-op opportunities, really good starting salaries coming out of all of our 18 programs. So we have 18 majors on campus, very, very focused in the STEM fields, basically all major engineering programs, computer science, and then all the way to just the main core sciences. Everything on campus is very hands-on, project-based, so really getting students prepared mostly for industry. About 80% of our students end up going directly into a career after they graduate, and the other 20% of going to grad school. So really good opportunities to get in some really, really high-tech labs on campus. But like I said, kind of the biggest thing for us is that focus from the faculty on the students and what kind of experience that gives them at the undergrad level. Our application is available as well. We're on the Common App. We have early action and regular decision. Early action is non-binding and has a deadline of November 1st for the application and the other documents. We are going to remain test optional this year as well. So if you have any questions, my contact information is on there, or feel free to throw it in the Q&A. So I think that's all I have for now.
Hi, everyone. My name is David Poole. I'm Director of Admission for the University of Miami College of Engineering, and I'm here to represent the whole university. So it's my pleasure to see all of you here with us today. The University of Miami is a private institution located in Coral Gables, Florida, which was founded in 1925. We're excited our centennial is about to begin. We are a research R1 institution with over 90 centers and labs with over $350 million in sponsored research. There are just over 11,000 undergraduate students that literally come from all over the world. So no matter how you talk about diversity, whether it's in terms of gender, whether it's ethnicity or whether or not it's international students, you can see we really do represent the world. University of Miami has 11 different schools and colleges. 9 of them teach undergraduate students at the undergraduate level. We have the College of Architecture, Arts and Sciences, Business, Education, Engineering, Communication, Marine Science, Music, and Nursing. We do have 2 graduate-only programs, which is the Mellon School of Medicine and the Rosenstiel School of Marine and Atmospheric Sciences, as well as the Law School. Our average class size is between 16 and 27 students, over 80 study abroad opportunities in over 31 different countries from around the world. Undergraduate students at the University of Miami are able to do research, which is unusual for an R1 school, but because of our size, we do allow undergraduate students to do internships. Because of our location in the #1 hub for innovation and entrepreneurship, according to the last surveys that have been coming out, all of our students have an opportunity to do an internship during their studies with us during either the academic year or during the summer semester. They would be working with our Topple Career Center, and we begin that process of getting you ready for your career beginning in your first year. At the University of Miami, our liberal arts education is slightly structured different than at other institutions. So any of you that are on this call today that are looking at STEM, whether it be in the traditional STEM fields or biology and chemistry or engineering, liberal arts is typically 3 fields. It's the humanities, the social sciences, as well as STEM courses. But as a STEM major, you don't have to take any STEM courses as part of your liberal arts education, which gives you the opportunity to really build a minor or a second major up to your desires and what you aspire to do. We believe that you own your education. We begin that beginning in your first year. We are a Division I school with over 200 different clubs and organizations. The Office of Undergraduate Admission, for all of you that are applying, we use the common application. And we are also test optional for fall of 22 entering. We do have both early decision as well as early action 1 with a November 1st deadline. And then we have early decision 2 and regular decision with a February 1st deadline. We do have merit scholarships available for students who are admitted at the highest level, whether or not they're domestic or international, and we meet 100% of demonstrated need. We hope you'll have an opportunity to look at greater lengths at us. Please visit our website at miami.edu, and if you have any questions, please reach out to us at admission@miami.edu. Thanks for listening and enjoy the rest of the program.
Hi, everyone. So nice to see you all. My name is Vanessa Jimenez, and I am an admissions counselor at the College of New Jersey. I'm also a very proud alum and first-generation college student, so I'm really excited to connect with you all. TCNJ is a public college in New Jersey, located in Ewing, New Jersey, about an hour by train from New York, 45 minutes from Philadelphia. So we're really centrally located in New Jersey. We're known to be the #1 public college by Money's Best Colleges in the Northeast region. We have about 7,000 students that attend TCNJ in total. So we are a small to medium-sized school with about 21 students in the average class size. We have a 94% retention rate, just showing how much TCNJ values community as well as challenging our students. We develop a great safe space for our students to be at, where they love to come back to. We have about 50 or more majors at TCNJ within 7 different schools, including the School of Arts and Communication, the School of Business, the School of Engineering, the School of Education, the School of Nursing, Health and Exercise Science, the School of Humanities and Social Sciences, and the School of Science. TCNJ has about 250 plus clubs and organizations on campus. I hope you ask questions about those organizations to our student that's here today. But thank you guys so much. Our application is due. We have general admissions and early decision deadlines. Our first 2 early decision deadlines are November 1st and January 1st. Our general admissions deadline is February 1st. And we do have a 7-year medical program. The deadline is due November 1st. If you are a transfer student interested in transferring to TCNJ, we do have 2 fall and spring semester deadlines. The fall semester being February 15th, the spring semester being October 15th. Thank you so much for connecting with us. Our application is live on Common App. Feel free to apply at any time and connect with me if you have any questions. Very nice to meet you all.
Okay, thanks all so much. From here on the screen, if anyone wants to screenshot or jot this down, this is all the contact information from the great individuals that you just heard from. So I'll leave this up for just a second. And now what we've all come for to hear from our current university students. So before I shut this down, university students, if you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourself, let us know what school you attend. You can let us know what your major is, things you might be involved with at your university, and then we'll go from there and start in with the questions. So if we want to go ahead and start with our student from Illinois Tech, take it away.
Hi everyone, my name's Nick. I'm a third year studying biomedical engineering at Illinois Tech, and I have a specialization within cell and tissue engineering. I'm involved in student government on campus. I'm involved in Biomedical Engineering Society. In addition, I am a Hawk ambassador, so I get to meet a lot of cool and interesting people, like all of the people on the call today. So hi.
Thanks so much. If we want to go ahead with our student rep from Lawrence Tech.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tony. I am a senior student in the architectural engineering program at Lawrence Tech.
Thanks so much. We will go ahead with our student rep from Rose-Hulman.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rish. I'm a senior mechanical engineering student at Rose-Hulman. I'm also doing a concentration in aerospace engineering there as well. On campus, I'm part of the Formula SAE team that we have, as well as the admissions office. So if you do come out and visit us in Terre Haute, Indiana, there's a good chance I might be giving you your tour there.
Thanks so much. If we can go with the student rep from University of Miami. Oh, I think you're muted.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, just checking, sorry. Hi, my name is Erin. I am a junior studying biomedical engineering at the U with a concentration in pre-med, and I am involved both inside and outside of the university, or like the college specifically in engineering, sort of with student ambassadors and peer mentoring, but also working within the college and outside the college as well.
Thanks so much. And last but not least, the College of New Jersey.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christopher. I am a senior public health and communication studies major at TCNJ, specifically for public health, social behavioral, and for communication studies, public and mass media. I have the privilege of being a part of a public health program that has been rated top 25 by Best Values in 2021. Just some of the things that I'm involved in, besides being an ambassador for the college, I am also in student government, and also a member of honor societies for both public health and communications.
Thank you so much, everyone, and thanks for joining us, you guys. So any of our attendees, now is the time if you guys want to go ahead and put any questions that you have for these current students in the Q&A. We will hop into them. First and foremost, first question here. If anyone wants to chat about how you found groups or clubs or organizations that you are involved with at your university.
I can start. So at UM, there's a huge website with a bunch of different orgs. I think it's like over 250 orgs or something like that. And so I sort of went through and just highlighted all the ones that seemed interesting to me, and then attended like the initial meeting for each of them, and ended up really clicking with a few, like Biomedical Engineering Society or the Society of Women Engineers. And I'm also involved in like club sports for like club running as well. So it's just like interesting to get a variety of different things, but definitely check out like your school's website to see.
I guess I'll go next. I forgot to mention that I am a part of a couple organizations within my major, AEI and ASHRAE, as well as also part of a Greek life on campus. But for me specifically, and what I've found for our campus, since we do have over 100 different organizations, we do have our student life office that students can go to and look through all those as well, and talk to different faculty members who oversee all those different organizations. But as well as also we do career fairs at the beginning of every year. It's usually the first week. where students can come out, talk to different organizations, and just get to see what's out there. So for each major, as well as also like special interest organizations and Greek life organizations as well.
I can go next. So essentially, I mentioned student government, and that's because as a student who was big on civic engagement in high school, that was one of the organizations that I saw being very active on campus. Plus, they provide students with a seat at the table. In terms of organizations, we have over 250 plus student organizations, that being socially driven, academically, professionally. There's many opportunities for students to join groups that focus on their affinity groups. So whatever they're of interest to. I know Greek life for us is 33% of the student population. So I'm a part of Greek life as well. And if you guys have any questions about some of the student organization components, I would be happy to talk about it.
Yeah, I'll go next. I think clubs are definitely a big component, which I think what's really nice about Illinois Tech and what kind of sets us apart is that the school spends $1 million a year, give or take a bit, on funding those clubs, which I think is really cool. So instead of sitting in a room with people that have a common interest, you can actually build something towards that common interest. You can go to conferences. I personally was like flown out to California. I was driven out to like Indiana, so you actually get to do things surrounding those clubs, which is a really great bonding activity. I think it's fun to get, fly and have vacations for free and stuff.
Yeah, I'll finish up with Rose here. So, when you come into your freshman year, the day before classes get started, we basically fill up the entire parking lot by our football stadium with all of the clubs, student activity, organizations and all those kind of things all located right there. So as freshmen, you're able to come in and get a chance to talk to everybody who's involved in those clubs straight away, get on email lists, kind of figure out where the right place to fit in is for you. So we have a wide variety of not just Greek life, but also affinity groups, as well as, of course, your kind of technical clubs that you'd normally expect to find at a STEM institution.
Thanks so much, you guys. So next question we're going to hop into. If you guys want to talk a little bit about maybe what a typical day for you looks like as a student from your university.
I'm happy to go first. So at Rose, things are pretty different, I think, to what your standard college schedule looks like from a daily basis. So most of our classes are actually broken up into 50-minute blocks. So, the longest lecture you'll typically see yourself having is 3 50-minute blocks, the shortest being 1 50-minute block. So day for me normally starts at 8 a.m. Unfortunately, I do have a class that early in the morning. You can, of course, avoid that when you design your schedule. Yeah, so starts early in the morning. I'll have some time in between classes. Normally, I'll have 3 or 4 classes every single day. But what's most important to me is that, all classes, all lectures are required to end before 5 p.m. On campus. And then after 5 is when you should be spending time either doing homework, doing club work, or just kind of relaxing, hanging out with friends. They do a really good job at kind of separating that, where you don't have to worry about having an evening lecture or anything like that. So for myself, I'm part of the Formula SAE team here on campus. So there's a good chance I kind of go down after classes, especially if I don't have a ton of homework. I'll go down and help work on the car, and in terms of, we're in the design cycle or work in the machine shop.
Yeah, I'll go next. So I feel like mine is very like stereotypical on what you might hear, but I actually did all these things today. So I had a class that started I had 2 classes back to back. The first one was at 8 a.m. So unfortunately, I was also unlucky with the class registration. And then I reached out to Campus Life and I purchased White Sox tickets. So we're right across the street from the White Sox Stadium. And so the university actually bought like a block of tickets and resold them for like $5 each. So my friends and I are going this Friday to a game. Then I was working with a professor on a research project. So I was working in his lab on I don't want to go into the details, but basically I was working in a research lab, which I think is cool. Then I got to work with some freshmen. So I'm like a freshman orientation person. And then later today I have a meeting for student government. So I know that sounds very I'm highlighting all the important things, but that's actually what I am doing today.
Yeah, I can go next. So essentially, just talk about scheduling first. We have classes that run with an hour and a half up to a 3 hour class. So it really depends on what students feel like they have the capacity to do. Me specifically, I'm not a morning person, so I like to have my classes either in the later morning or more towards the afternoon or the evening. And then in terms of just how the scheduling works out, on Wednesdays, specifically today, is just all about you can either have a day, your day to yourself, most students do, or you can go to the meetings that you have for like your student organizations. So Wednesdays are like specifically like it's like a known thing that on Wednesdays you kind of just do what you feel like you can do in that capacity. So, but besides that, I mean, there's one thing that I kind of want to point out is that first year students, with the way that things are scheduled, they come in already kind of knowing what their schedule is going to look like because they do have to take some of those core classes. Then moving on to the spring semester, that's when really they can, to their autonomy, they can kind of change a couple things. But there still is that ability to change and kind of change your schedule a little bit. So that's kind of how I'm operating.
I can go next. I was going to say, like, basically, we don't have Wednesdays off, unfortunately, but you get to choose between it being sort of like Tuesday, Thursday classes, Monday, Wednesday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So depending on what you want your schedule to look like, you can choose whether or not you want to sort of stack your classes and make like 4 or 5 in a day, or you can kind of space them out. I've stacked a few of my classes because I also do research. And so I wanted to have a block of time that I could, get to the lab, set up, and actually have time to, carry out experiments. And on days that I'm not in the lab, I tend to fill my breaks with on-campus work or club meetings, like you guys were saying. And it's sort of up to you, like what you want to do with the time in between. But I think it's good to kind of decide how to plan your classes around what you prioritize in like college aside from academics.
Yeah, so for at Lawrence Tech, it's a little different. So you could have morning classes, afternoon classes, or evening classes. It really depends on how you want to put it. It also depends on what kind of college you're in. Usually more of our design majors. So their classes are usually run about anywhere from 3 to 4 hours long, but usually a lot of that is like split up between the half hour to an hour lecture. And then the rest of the class time is more of like working in your specific studio or classroom with your professor on projects that you may have, and you can ask them new questions. But for all of our other colleges, so College of Engineering, Arts and Sciences, as well as also our College of Business and IT, you can set it up for a lot of your classes, usually around anywhere from 50 minutes to about an hour and 15, which is really nice because you can kind of schedule how you want your classes to be. So you can usually your freshman year, usually you'll probably have 1 or 2 Friday classes, but your sophomore and junior year, you can set it up so you don't have any Friday classes and you can kind of spend all day doing homework that day. That's usually what I would do. But for me, on a day-to-day basis is usually I'll wake up, usually either my classes will start at 11 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the morning, kind of just depends on the day. And then I will do my first couple classes, then I go to work, either in the admissions office as a student ambassador or to my second internship, or my second job, which is my internship, that I have about a half hour from my house. And then I will come back to class for work for another class that I have, which will be my last class, depending on what that ends. They'll usually end around 7 or around 8 o'clock at night. And then I kind of just head straight home from there. And usually between like each one of my classes, I have large breaks where I do usually do homework. So it's really nice, but you can kind of set it up to where you can have large breaks between classes. You can stack all your classes in one day, or you can kind of split them up. So it kind of just depends on what your learning style is.
Perfect. Thanks, you guys. So very clearly, you are all very busy. So if you guys can go ahead and just chat about any challenges you might have been facing, balancing school and your clubs and activities, or maybe specific resources that your university offers to kind of help with that school life balance.
I can go. So in terms of some of the challenges, for me specifically, as a first generation college student, some of the things that I would hear from, I guess, parents and and some other external factors would be this idea that, okay, you have to either go to med school, or you have to be a lawyer, or you have to do something in the STEM field. And it wasn't up until my sophomore year where I really started to utilize the resources that TCNJ had to kind of get myself centered on what career I wanted. So in regards to public health, I started as a pre-med student, but then I started shifting more into the public and more into the policy, health policy, and administration side of public health. And if it was with the help of some of my advisors, because students have access to an advisor based off of their academic program. It was through my advisor that I then realized what would best fit me was going that route. And then if I wanted to add a second major, I could. So I ended up picking public health, communication studies, but with mass media in mind, because then some of the classes were focused on health communications. From there, I was able to study abroad last semester because my school has different centers in different parts of the country and also in the country itself. So I ended up going to DC and doing my capstone on infertility services for veteran affairs through a medical society. So because of that challenge and being able to overcome that challenge because of some of the resources, I was then able to kind of figure myself out. So yeah.
I guess I can go next. So some of the challenge I think that I faced when I kind of first started, as well as also I still kind of face now, which the big thing is time management. That's a big thing when it comes to college, just because a lot of times you have to prioritize a lot of things that you have going on. So specifically for me, a lot of my classes, I have large breaks in between. So usually I'll either do homework, or if I have work during those times, I'll kind of space it out. So even if I have work in a large block, I'll put it to another side where I know, okay, I can do homework during this time. And originally I did start out in the architecture and civil engineering dual major program when I first entered into Lawrence Tech. So that one was a big time commitment as well, because you're doing a lot of projects and with studios and those 3 to 4 hour classes. And so with that, it's definitely a lot of time management in terms of knowing when to do projects. A lot of times you'd be up kind of late at night, but then again, within the College of Architecture and Design, usually a lot of students are up late at night. That's just a preferred time that they like to do their projects, and they do them together. But yeah, I definitely say that was a big thing when it came to challenges.
I can go next. So in terms of challenges, I think like first going into engineering, I was a little bit worried I was going to be the only girl in all my classes. And so that was sort of not a fear, but I was just like, okay, like, will I find people that are like me and things like that? And I definitely did. At there's the Society of Women Engineers, which I ended up being very active in from the start. And there's also a lot of different groups that are centered towards making you feel welcome within engineering. There's NSBE, NSBE, National Society of Black Engineers, SHIP, SHPE, Society of Hispanic Engineers, and also SACE for Asian Engineers. And I think all those organizations really make people feel like they have a place to go and also to seek help. And another way I found help was acknowledging the classes that I wasn't doing so well in when I first started, and immediately finding the resources I needed to get tutoring or extra help provided by the university. They have the Camner Center for Tutoring, where you can schedule one-on-one appointments, or you could just drop in and ask for classes or help with specific classes, or have tutors assigned to that class. And then within engineering, the college as well, a lot of the orgs provide tutoring as well. So I think that helped me get settled in from the start.
Yeah. At Rose, I think the biggest challenge that I found, and I think a lot of people find, is, engineering isn't meant to be an easy major. And that's kind of the big thing. STEM fields are kind of the big majors, obviously, at Rose. So straight off the bat, in classes, for a lot of students, you kind of go into it for the first time, actually struggling in your academic career. You don't really know, necessarily, how do I actually, solve a problem when I can't rely on just, pure intellect to actually get through it, which a lot of people may get through high school doing so. Rose totally understands that, and basically, I mean, you've got a huge amount of resources there to help you. So within your freshman residence halls, you have sophomore advisors, so not just your standard residential advisors, but sophomore advisors who kind of be who've just finished their freshman year, just understand exactly the transition you're going through. Our teachers all have required certain amount of office hours and are all very eager to meet with you in terms of whatever questions you have for homework. We have a whole tutoring center that students have access to. We have past exams that are actually available online. So Rose does a really great job at giving you all the resources to succeed, because they do understand that engineering is meant to be difficult. They're not going to make it easier, but they're going to show you these are the tools that you can actually succeed with, and this is how you learn effectively. And for me, it helped make me a much better student, not just relying on, oh, okay, I can solve this just because the problem's easy.
Yeah, I feel like we have things in a similar vein. I am not making this up. I actually went to the ARC today, or Academic Resource Center. So again, this was part of my day-to-day, because you can schedule custom time. So they have walk-in hours. But of course, once you get into your 300 and 400 level classes, you can't expect like every major under the sun to be there. So you can actually just send them an email and say like, hey, I want to meet with someone in this class for this class at this specific time. And they'll respond and say, okay, you're set up to go. So I actually did that today. In addition, professors have to be accessible. So they have to teach their own classes here at IIT. So you'll never be taught by like a TA or a supplemental instructor or anything. They're also required to hold their own office hours. So I have friends at other schools. I know like if you go to office hours, you're sent off to a grad student or something, but you'll actually get FaceTime with the professor, and the professor actually has to talk to you outside of class. So if you're falling behind or something, that's another great resource.
Thank you guys so much. Next question coming up. Can you guys go ahead and explain why you chose the university that you're at? What drew you to your school?
I can hop onto this one first. I was drawn to Rose-Hulman. So I knew I wanted to do engineering, and I knew I really wanted to work with cars or planes. So that kind of helped narrow down that kind of window a little bit as well. But it really happened when I came and visited Rose-Hulman. It's a small school in Indiana. I'm actually from just outside of New York City, so barely heard of it up until we saw rankings that my dad kind of pointed out, and we thought it was worth checking out and making the flight out to Indiana for. The biggest thing we emphasize here is hands-on learning. You're not going to just sit in a lecture hall, watch a professor talk about the theory of some form of motion or vibration. You're going to go out and actually do it. Most of the classes that are offered, especially within mechanical engineering that I can speak to, you'll have some lab associated with it. So you'll have lab sessions, at least a 3-hour lab once a week. So again, getting to actually apply those things on campus. Additionally, because we're such a small school, I was able to step in as a freshman, as someone with next to no knowledge into one of the competition teams on campus, and you're able to get actual impactful work early on. I know, I've looked at some larger schools in the past, and some, it takes a long time for you to build up the knowledge base to really feel like you're making an impact. Here, straight away, first week, first quarter freshmen walk into our Rose GP team, our Formula SAE team, and they're helping us with actual design work in CAD. We're getting them started with CAD work and making sure that they're feeling like they belong here on campus. So that really drew me to Rose, and I still think the freshmen who come in get a chance to experience that hands-on learning that I think is truly unique for us.
Particularly to TCNJ, I knew I wanted to go to a school that had a liberal learning curriculum, because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just going to excel in what I was passionate about, but also wanted to know what else, if there was any lingering thoughts about like what I wanted to study, that I could be able to do that. And so with that curriculum, I was able to take different courses that I was passionate about. The school also emphasizes working with professors. I mean, the ratio in the classroom is typically from 1 to 15, 1 to 20. So it's not like you're not a number. The professors actually take their time to really make sure that you're doing good, and they make themselves available through office hours. In the case that you want to make sure that you want to take that a step further, you can go to the tutoring center, and they have those resources. And those resources are even taught by students that took the class, so they have access to some things that are important to the class and how to excel in that classroom. Besides that, there's some programs in the summer. There's the Muse program, the mentoring undergraduate students experience. And through that, students can get the opportunity to be published or even work on a research opportunity and really get their names out there to the point where they can go to conferences in different states.
I can go next. So when I was applying to different schools, I was looking specifically within engineering. And so I was really interested in the different facilities that they had or ways to get into lab, just active learning in general, like was previously mentioned, not just like sitting in a classroom being lectured at. So a big part of that was has a partnership with Johnson & Johnson. So we have a lab where you can do like titanium printing, you can do 3D printing. We have lots of maker bots, especially being in BME, that was, super cool to hear prosthetics and being able to create things in CAD that I could literally print myself just by going, downstairs in the engineering building. And then also I know like my other friends in engineering, like in civil engineering, they have a structures lab where they work with cement and stuff. And in general, like, I just think that it's important to look at what, you want to be doing within engineering and seeing what school has the best facilities equipped to help you achieve whatever you want to do.
Yes, I can go next. So what drew me more to Lawrence Tech was, the fact that I live about 15 minutes from the campus, even just like growing up. So I always kind of got to see the developments that were made on campus, but as well as also I knew when I was going through high school that I wanted to do something within architecture and engineering. And so when I found Lawrence Tech, it was a great thing for me because I got to talk with a lot more of the dean and the associate dean of the College of Architecture and Design, and really got to see and talk with other students within the programs too about kind of their thoughts, their experiences going through it, and kind of how like internship and job searching went. But as well as also on the engineering side, a lot of our engineering students are known for going to the big three after they graduate for future jobs, as well as also other big name companies, which made it well known as well. And of course, since Lawrence Tech being originally founded as an engineering school, it was basically take a lot of pride in a lot of the engineering, and knew that the engineering program was constantly growing and constantly changing with the industry to kind of make sure students got that best knowledge and that best experience going forward.
Oh, am I the last one? Oops, I thought there was other people. So I really liked that we had a techie student body, if that makes sense. So we're all kind of nerdy here. So we have like literally hundreds of 3D printers in pretty much every building. We have like my freshman year, while I think most of my friends on like Snapchat that went to other schools, they were watching like sports or something. We were watching the SpaceX launch in the lobby of our floor. Just kind of things like that. I think is really fun that we're kind of a nerdy, fun school. And just the general student body is really kind of unique. So we're ranked as the most international school in the nation, actually. So 20% of our undergraduate students are international. And just to kind of give an example, my roommate last year and this year is from Togo, which I had never heard of until I met him. And my friend down the hall is from Vietnam. So just kind of the student body, I really jive with them. And it's a really interesting bunch that you get to learn a lot of things from them.
Okay, thanks so much, you guys. I believe we are coming up to time. There we go. So thank you, current students. We appreciate it. Loved learning a little bit more about all of your experiences at your universities.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I hope you were taking notes at this session because they shared some gems about their experiences at their school. So thank you so much. Thank you to our colleges. And so when you close your box to leave out of this session, there's going to be a quick 5-question survey. We want to hear your feedback. Make sure you send that to us. And also, if you want to sign up for more sessions tonight, there are more things to learn. So go back to the schedule and sign up for some more. This session has been recorded and we'll be able to find it on the website with other ones that are happening at this time and the rest of the evening at strivescan.com/CACHET. See you later. Bye.